so much early game potential. So this is kind of like a mixed bag right here. And for ONIC, I would say that it is very much well balanced. And speaking of that, they want to take the toughest one off the lot, and here comes Uranus.
All right, we got a. You can already tell how disencouraged I am. Discouraged I am the moment I see Uranus, because we just know that the meta is still relevant towards these hyper carries. And yes, the assassins are coming in from ONIC, but just as a strong answer to what TODAK has to have. TODAK, they want to play early game. ONIC Esports, they're waiting for mid game to really pop off. So let's see whether these strategies are gonna go through in the first game of the day.
Of course, if you guys are watching right at home, make sure you guys share the live stream to your friends, and of course make some predictions on who will take this game one between TODAK versus ONIC Esports. So we're about to get this show underway, and of course it's going to be a best of 3 if I'm not mistaken, as we will get ourselves ready for this match. So far things are looking really well for both teams, where, you know, 2 different metas being brought to play. But I'm looking at ONIC Esports here. They've definitely had some pretty genius picks and bans, and perhaps that might be pretty much the edge that they have, especially when they do have Uranus as well. Look at how sick this is!
Look at that cinematic view! Alright, that was woo! I am riled up already, and you can already see the control being exerted by TODAK, knowing that they have the stronger level 1. They're going to try and push them out of and control that mid lane, and as well as that river line. No invade. I don't expect ONIC to try anything, you know, too wowza to go for these big invades, but they control the mid lane, they quickly break it as quickly as possible, and they're looking to maintain that river dominance.
Now Chiku's going to be looking for a little bit of a chase. They are trying to actually contest for this little camp, and yep, they're going to receive a little bit of regeneration, so that's going to be great for CW and Co. And now moving in towards the jungle. Of course, we heard about some changes in the jungle as well, as well as lane. So that's where you see parties have definitely shifted on that sort of the early skirmishes, and seems like Anti-Mage soaking a little too much.
Yeah, for Mezzi, making sure that any rotations or anybody trying to go for these smaller camps instead of the buffs as an invade, it's really good to stop them from it, especially in the earlier stages of the game, because even though the gold has been changed a little bit, the EXP hasn't, and getting to level 4 is the main objective for both of these teams. So I can definitely understand the plays, and the amount of priority is to control that river line.
Yeah, and I'm looking at all these players, both TODAK as well as ONIC Esports. They do respect each other's territory quite a fair bit, but looking at the side of TODAK, they are looking for a dive, knowing that Anti-Mage will be pretty much a hassle to deal with once he hits his level 4. But speaking of level 4, CW is already at it, and this is going to be a big concern here because X-Ray is going to make a move.
Yeah, he quickly is using his mobility with the G Kundo to get out of there, and it looks like they want to trade top turret very early on here, but I don't think they have just enough, they don't have enough damage yet. But TODAK making the move here, trying to get the ejector onto Rasi, but he quickly flickers away. But they do get the dominance ice onto Sasa. They get a catch up to CW. Now it's a 4v4, 4v5. Not looking like a very good idea here as Anip tries to get out of the Steel Tempest. He gets knocked up almost instantaneously. Ling is going to be traded. That's actually not too bad of a trade considering considering who and the roles coming into that fight.
Yeah, I do think that it's pretty much even if we even look into its goal graph, it's just very slight margins because of the first blood. But you know, I would rather have CW being suppressed for a little bit, and it shouldn't have too much of a concern to get by much later on. Rassi's going to be regenning for a little bit, back in towards the respawn he goes. Well, it's just going to be the Battle of the Titans over the bot side.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, Baxia is doing a really good job, especially with his Toys Poissons, allowing him to kind of negate the healing from Anti-Mage every single time he tries to use that concentration. So it's a pseudo counter, but again, we're talking about Uranus here, who doesn't really interact with the lane or the laner themselves for the most part. Oh, this is a really big catch here. It looks like Anim just got caught out by the fatal links here. Moon coming in a little bit slightly late, and he's chasing Ling around, but he has just enough energy to bail on out. Moon's in a lot of trouble as he takes in quite a bit of damage from the Feather Airstrike. He's going to be going down. Baxia in the backline, he's completely trapped. He's probably going to be next on the chopping block as Esmeralda going through Riverside to make sure nobody helps him out. And yeah, he manages to walk away scot-free. Looks like Baxia does have enough toughness to keep himself alive.
I'm looking at that sort of engagement, which I felt was a little bit questionable. questionable. They kind of already lost a little bit of that sort of momentum right there already, and they still chased right in towards ONIC's jungle, which I felt wasn't really the wisest of decision, because you are at the same time losing some gold as well as EXP while on it. I feel like you can actually let go of that. Seems like a Blazing Duet will be used by Chiku just to get himself up above the rest. He's already level 8, and now he's looking for a pickoff already.
Yep, looks like TODAK wants to keep that control there. And you know, just because of that one death from CW, he's actually only level 7 while Chiku is level 9. So he is down. Technically, he should be very, very close to level 8, but overall, he's just a little bit down in EXP, and Chiku has been free farming this entire time. They haven't been able to punish him just yet, so he is going to come online very, very soon.
Well, in terms of resources, they're really putting all their eggs in one basket, but you know, with that sort of marksman being the beefiest unit of them all in terms of damage. So, of course, he should actually go in for a little bit of that contest, but seems like ONIC Esports will be able to actually secure the very first turtle of the MPL Invitational 4 Nations Cup. But, oh my, seems like they did get a catch, but not the catch that they wanted. This is a whale if it's a fish in the ocean.
Dude, this is just like Uranus. This is just Uranus things. Only Uranus can do this, man. Like, nobody else can really just walk in and be like, I don't really want to deal with this guy, you know? And you can see even Mezzy is just like trying to get to his turret. It's just like, oh, I have to deal with him. But he also is very aware that Ling is trying to take his turret. He successfully does so, and Baxia, just unable to clear the way or get even close to the tower, is unable to help.
And, of course, back towards the middle lane will be the focus of ONIC Esports as well. Of course, they don't really want to focus over the side of Uranus. Dream being brought down to 35%, and now Rassi's going to be chipped off for a little bit as well. But looks who's stuck. It's going to be CW, but he does land his ult into its tree, and the Fatal Links will connect, but it will be one going down in the form of the Jawhead. And, well, pretty much a big trait, and X-Ray's pretty much caught up by himself as well. This is going to be the Turk member being brought down there. And, of course, TODAK loses way too much out of that.
Yeah, TODAK... it's really frustrating to see this fight go down because it shouldn't have begin in the first place. It's all dependent on Chiku. Look at that, yeah! Chiku is literally all of their damage. Everybody else from the side of TODAK is just a punching bag for ONIC Esports. The amount of damage that Chiku can pull out is so much more. Even Sasa hasn't hit critical mass yet, and being down 3 levels against someone like Chiku, who already has the Demon Hunter sword, yes, it doesn't do as much damage as it used to. We get it. We totally get it. But it doesn't change the fact that once you have the golden staff, it's still a power spike. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still a power spike.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of a little bit of power, it seems like animation will be melted to 20%. But Chiku could not commit any further, but here comes the Lynx pulling it back! My goodness! Beautifully connected onto 2. And of course, Ling will get 1 as well, but Drians will suffer some hit at the back as it seems like 4 mace will be assassinating him. And here comes CW once again. 3 more members down for the side of TODAK.
He cannot run away from this. And yeah, the moment Chiku dies, the rest of TODAK just have to run away or stick together or figure some way out of this. And even though Chiku does have the Purify, how do you react to that? Rassi came in so quickly, preemptively using his ult and flickering forward to catch him off guard, to catch Chiku off guard. A really nice play. However, he's not going to be able to do that again for another minute and 2 seconds.
Yeah, and to add on top of that, Purify has definitely been nerfed, and yeah, this is rough. Like, seems like TODAK has nowhere to hide inside their own jungle, but of course, payback time in terms of Animage. And, well, the airstrike being released so far. They're going to be able to actually secure 2 to 3 towers already for the side of ONIC Esports. Now, gold definitely swings in favor for the Indonesian side, and this is the reason why everyone's been raving about this team.
Yeah, and you know, ONIC Esports is they feel like they found their stride. You know, with the addition of Rassi and Sasa, they've been really performing out of their minds ever since MPL Indonesia. Even in the playoffs, both Rassi and CW have made a significant impact for their team, which is really good for ONIC, who desperately needed a new flavor. And you can see that they're taking objectives rather easily now. There's nothing TODAK can really do to stop them at this point of time. The rest of the members and the supports are so under leveled, except for Chiku, who's just been funneled this entire game.
Yeah, although they did funnel all the resources onto its the side of their marksman, it doesn't seem like he has pulled the trigger at the right time. There were fights that should have been there a little bit earlier, and with that sort of the dive attempt over on the side of Anti-Mage, easily they could just actually do pretty much a recommitment coming in from the side of ONIC, but here comes the team fight.
This is the fight that we were looking for potentially, and it looks like Chiku, he's kind of hiding around, waiting for Moon to get the initial catch with the Jawhead. They chunk down Drian to half HP, but the rest of the team is in a lot of trouble. They're trying to dodge out and force out as many abilities as possible. You can already see Chiku, he's rotating back into the fight. This might be it. He has enough damage. He's chopping down Anti-Mage, and Sasa is next, quickly with the Blazing Duet. 3 members getting caught into it, but nobody's dead just yet. He hasn't found the targets. Forced to take the Battle Mirror Image all the way back into safety. That must be so frustrating for Chiku.
But it's actually a very beautiful attempt of escape coming from the side of ONIC. They knew what to do. They went in 3 separate directions, and all of them survived. So it leaves him with a couple of options. Okay, I should go for either one of them, but you know, like he was so close to actually melt all 3. So yeah, it definitely feels really bad. So can't really say it's kill denied if you're almost there.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Just look at everybody else. Like, Chiku is so well fed while the rest of the team is just like starving away, hoping for the right time, hoping to utilize their resources and force out options from ONIC Esports, who already have acclaimed the Lord. And Mood, who is just sticking his nose to look for information to feed back into his team, gets punished once again. And these picks have significantly hurt them.
And of course, it will still hurt them even more so in the late game. Later, the Hepsa sees out, and Chiku's getting dove upon. ONIC members are trying to actually crush them upon all these sort of corners, and it will be a mega kill coming in for Sasa. Sasa has not been taken out as of now, but Anip is getting strike from right underneath his turret, and here comes Rassi. He's trying to actually connect the dots, and it will be Godlike coming in for CW on his 8th kill, and X-Ray forced to flicker away.
What a great bait coming in from Rassi here. He goes in with the least amount of HP you would have ever expected, and when he comes in, like, I was thinking, okay, he's going to use this all, he's going to try and make a play and sacrifice himself. No, it's purely just to bait in Anip here at the very end, and he quickly flickers away. Just out of skill shot range, and allows the rest of the team to collapse on them.
And so, speaking of a collapse, seems like there might just be another collapse over the mid side. The Waiter Dragon over the side of Anti-Mage as they are trying to hold on for dear life. Formate's tanking it out, but the Boxer can only hold so much. But the Lord is hitting from the top side as well. They're escorting away from the mid side while the bottom crashes in. Seems like there won't be any more turrets left for the side of TODAK. And now they are forced to actually re-engage. And let's see, Federal Airstrike being committed here with a legendary coming in for CW. He's looking for a double, and oh my, the dive and Blazing has already been out, but it's so close to take down Rassi. Moon will fall down, and ONIC only loses 1.
Unfortunately, it looks like TODAK decided to sacrifice their members and not actually re-engage into the fight, which was what I was kind of expecting from Chiku here. Maybe heal up from the minions just a little bit, like bring him up to at least 65% HP before re-engaging into the fight, because I still think that fight was highly winnable, considering that a lot of the cooldowns have been used very early on. And now Chiku trying to make the play onto Anti-Mage here, who is chunking him out. He's using his Battle Mirror Image really, really well. However, when you're up against the likes of Sasa as well, ooh, it's getting way too close. Unfortunately, Sasa wasn't able to get that last bit of damage. Battle Mirror Image came off of cooldown, and Chiku was able to kite him out. Nice play coming in from the marksman from TODAK.
Yeah, I thought that Chiku would be a goner right there.
Oh, like, for sure. I thought he was dead.
The damage output was pretty absurd, if you ask me. But hey, he walked out of that, and of course, they did brought down Sasa as well, which was pretty much unkillable. So now they finally got a little bit more momentum going on, and Chiku has already hit max level. It's more about the rest of the teammates where they got to get maybe a little bit beefier to help him absorb some damage before he dives in with that Blazing Duet.
Yep. And I think Chiku can't just do this alone, but the rest of the team is just like so severely underfarmed that it's kind of hard to expect them to find these catches, and you can see that both X-Ray as well as Moon are doing their best to find options, and the easiest one has to be Anti-Mage, but he's also the hardest to kill for everybody else. And you know, Sasa is still an absolute beast, so as long as he doesn't get caught out, he can kind of wait for everybody else to engage, like CW and as well as Rassi.
Oh no, they're actually chasing over on side of Chiku already, as they are actually collapsing upon them. But of course, it will be Aurora locking them down at that choke point right there. And ONIC just forced to just be halted for a little bit more. while they are looking for another new target. C-Dub is on the hunt. They are diving all the way to the back.
Oh!
But they take him down. The immortality being popped, and now here comes the ultimate, and they will actually knock X-Ray up in the air before finishing him off.
Chico needs to get back into this fight right now. He can actually get some free kills, and yeah, Anti-Mage is trying to bail out of there, but he can't go any deeper. Forward! He gets launched backwards! What just happened? He tries to Blazing Duet to kind of kill off the rest, but that was not enough. As for Messi coming right on in to push him forward. Oh my goodness, Rassi caught him off with the fatal links, even though he tried to use the battle mirror image. They're looking to end the game. The minions are running in. The crystal is gonna fall. Wow, that was such a weird looking interaction.
Yeah, like so many back and forth going on, and that fatal link